Good afternoon, Eagles. Today is Friday, February 23rd. I'm Claudia Dorn.
And I'm Alex Belser. Let's get into it.
Now that Valentine's Day is over, it's time to break up with your closet and end fast fashion waste by donating to Save Club's clothing drive. Clean out your closet and drop off any unwanted clothes in the bins located in front of the main office or in the cafeteria this week.
The Avon Academic Challenge team completed their season last week. The Eagles were represented by Nick Stamatis, Sai Rangarajan, Wolfgang Burgess, Adichie Rao, Mark Carney, and Mo Awad. The team completed on the Lorain County radio show News Channel 5 and hosted the SWC matches here at Avon High School, where they achieved a winning record with wins over rivals North Ridgeville, Elyria, Olmsted Falls, and Midview. Great job, team.
The boys basketball team will look to finish off their season today, as they will look to avenge a loss earlier in the season as they host Lake. The game will start at 7 p.m. Show up during the JV game and get ready to support the team as they head into tournament. The postseason tournament for the team will begin on Wednesday, February 28th, in a win-or-go-home game against the Worcester Generals, who will try to knock off our Eagles on our home court.
Sign-ups are open for the 2024 Dodgeball Tournament. Form your team and check Google Classroom in order to participate. 4 teams will get the chance to play in front of the school the day before spring break. Sign-ups will close on March 1st.
In the last gymnastics district event, Avon has 2 gymnasts that have qualified for the state tournament. This is the first time that the 2 people have qualified for states in the same year. Congrats to Riley Small and Cassie Wurst. Attention Literary Club members, we will have a meeting today from 2:45 to 3:30 p.m. in room 218. We will be writing mysteries. New members welcome. Hope to see you there.
And now for your Friday special features.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Talking with Teachers. This is episode 3, and we have Mr. Jacobs, and what a great guy right here. And I'm sorry we couldn't get a better background for this. I know we could have gotten it by like the drinking fountain in the band room. That probably would have been better, but yeah, we just kind of had to make do with what we had. So, hey, what do you do at Avon High School, Mr. Jacobs?
So at Avon High School, I am the director of all of our high school band activities. So we have 2 bands that meet during the day. That's Symphonic Band and Wind Ensemble, also in charge of marching band and any other activities related to band. Including like this season right now, we're in the middle of solo and ensemble season. So we have, I think, well over 30 events going to Lorain County Solo and Ensemble on February 24th, that's always a huge day for us. And I'm also the director of the 8th grade band, and I assist with the 7th grade band at the middle school. So that makes up my whole day.
Yeah, so you like interchange between the schools. Is that?
I go between buildings every day, yes.
Is that pretty tough?
You know, I've kind of lived both worlds because my first job was in Beaver Creek in Dayton, and I was in the same building all day long. And I kind of like the break in the day, actually. Now I've gotten used to it where I do like that time where, and actually I can go outside for a few minutes. I like that where like I'm able to go out, see the sun for a minute, take a little drive. I don't know, I like the change of pace personally. I guess I've just gotten used to it. Initially it was tough since my first job was just being in the same building the whole day.
So clearly, you know, you like band just a little bit. So
I might like band a little bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
why do you love it, man? Like, what's that?
So this goes way back to just music in general, because it's not even just band anymore. You spend a lot of time making music. You very often find as many avenues as possible to express yourself with it. And in particular now, it's just an aside, I really love the amount of students we have that do multiple things, I guess, in the performing arts right now. And I've kind of openly encouraged that because that's gradually become kind of how I enjoy being a musician, is to like singing in staff choir for us. But also, yes, primarily I'm a trumpet player. And I've also picked up and purchased a clarinet and trying to get better at that as well. But for me, it goes way back to my time as a student at Avon High School. So back in 2000, that was my freshman year. That was like the second year that this building was open, and all the fancy bells and whistles we have all over the place, especially this place here, we're obviously not here. But being a part of like the first time that, well, not the first time, but the very early development of our band program really kind of coming into its own, and being a student at that time, I enjoyed that process so much. I also kind of got to be a bit of a teacher as I developed some leadership skills as a student, and so that was just kind of a natural progression, I guess, that led me from doing that in college to teaching elsewhere to coming all the way back to Avon.
So clearly it was a much different program back then. I remember
Yes.
you telling us back when I was in band that it was where the band room was where the lunchroom is now.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the cafeteria now. So yeah, like going back to when this building first opened up, like where the cafeteria, like where the servers actually make the food, it's like expanded back to where the band room used to be. And we used to have in this building, the first few years here, we had a community room. And some of you may remember that prior to COVID, we had a community room. That was the band room. And when this building first opened up, the band and orchestra room way over here didn't even exist. So yeah, it's a little bit more cramped. We used to have the other, so yeah, and another weird scheduling fact about the bands, we used to have both of the bands meet in the same class period because we used to run marching band simultaneously out of it in the fall. So like symphonic band would have to meet in what's the choir room now. So Kyle, I want you to picture your days in symphonic band and all those kids and then packing them into the choir room as it is right now.
Oh, that's
It was a little compressed.
that sounds pretty bad, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
glad I was born later. In
Yeah,
life,
you
so
lucked
I
out.
didn't
Yeah,
have
it
to-
was pretty cramped in there. I felt bad for them.
Now, how was like AHS like in general? Like, how different was that when you went there?
When I went here, it's a lot different. So back when I graduated, just so you guys have an idea of numbers, I don't know if you guys know very well about like average graduating class sizes from here, like 350 on up to as many as 400. I was class of 2004, and at the time, we were the largest class to go through Avon, and we were like 175 kids. So like we were half that, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, class of 2004 is so big," and like people were not. Did not even have what Avon has become on the horizon at that point. So we were still very much the small family farm town that there's definitely a lot more of that back when I went to Avon. Still had a couple of kids probably pulling up in tractors more often than just on Tractor Tuesday. Like, you know, like it was definitely a much different scene. The other cool thing that I liked about it, it's something that's unavoidable when you have a school that's this big and has this much going on. I mean, everybody knew just about everybody, I feel like. Like I pretty much knew almost everybody's name that was in my class at least. And I don't know amongst students if that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
But certainly when you have only 170 people, I knew pretty much everybody and I could say hi to everybody by first and last name.
Yeah, and there's definitely a more personal like experience, and you know that small town like farm thing that has its place.
We hope you enjoyed your special features. I'm Claudia Dorn.
And I'm Alex Belser. We'll catch you on Monday.